This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 19, verse 2 through 3. And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight every one against his brother, and every one against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. And the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof. And they shall seek to the idols, and to the charmers, and to them that have familiar spirits, and to the wizards. And the Egyptians will I give over into the hand of a cruel lord, and a fierce king shall rule over them, saith Yahweh, saith the Lord Yahweh of hosts. Shalom, shalom. Before I begin this lesson, all praise, honor, and glory goes to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Brakak. Double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone that rule well. And peace and blessings be multiplied on all you brethren, teaching this word in all sincerity and in truth. Shalom to the hopeful elect out there, the 144,000, and the rest of the men, women, and children the Lord will have mercy on in these last days. Shalom. And to the scattered Israelites that look like the other nations, but your spirit is in tuned and linked to the Holy Spirit and to this gospel. Shalom. It's the brother Dama Agabar here with another lesson, Lord willing to edify and give you warning from Yahweh by Yahweh Shai. And as you can see, the Egyptians are about to be set against the Egyptians, which is a code word for, civil war here in America. All right. Because the modern day Pharaoh, the modern day king of Egypt is Esau Edom, the so-called white man. And who do you have as the cardboard cutout, the puppet Pharaoh of America right now is Joe Biden. And his whole administration is totally sinking this, this ship known as America right down the crap hole, man. All right. And there is going to be a civil war here in this country, as Isaiah, the 19th chapter, is referring to. All right. It's not talking about the ancient Egyptians. It's talking about this modern day Egyptian, because this place is spiritually Sodom and Egypt. All right. And you have a huge civil war brewing here in this country. And it's really going to crack off when, these devils, this is just me speaking as a man. I think when the people really realize that, this election is not going to happen, they're not going to allow Donald Trump to win this election fairly. And they do something to where the election is just called off and they're not going to let these people vote and they're going to somehow keep Joe Biden in office. That's when the shit is going to hit the fan. That's when you're going to have a real civil war here on your hands, man. That's when you're going to have Republicans versus Democrat, rich versus poor, black versus white. The have versus the have nots, and also you're going to have a lot of these migrants and a lot of these, foreigners that are being flooded across the border. They're going to be in the midst of this, too. They're going to take a huge brunt of the blame, when all hell breaks loose. It's literally going to be everybody versus everybody, man. All right. And this place is going to fail. It's not going to rise. It's not going to be made great again. Hey, this place is on the verge of complete and total collapse and division, and nothing is going to heal Babylon. All right. The Lord's not going to heal this place. He's not going to cure it. He's not going to set it back in order. This place is being set up to completely and utterly fall and be destroyed and taken. All right. And what made me go into this, because I was looking at this article, and look at this shit, man. We've been going into how bad the border truly is, man. But there's literally, thousands upon people that are entering into this country unchecked, unregistered, and they're being allowed to come into this place, man, ultimately to help bring in the order out of chaos. And you have a lot of military age men from all over the fucking world freely entering into this country. People, gang members, drug dealers, rapists, murderers, UN troops, Chinese troops, huge amounts of Arab Muslims, terrorists literally crossing into this country unchecked, and they're being allowed to stay into this country and given thousands of dollars, and they are waiting calls to help fund the destabilization of this country, man. And I was listening to this podcast today, and a guy was breaking down how, they're literally allowing a lot of these people to come into this country unchecked because they're basically saying that, I'm a homosexual and I'm fleeing the oppression from my countries. And they're saying how that's how a lot of these very, very unsavory individuals are getting the green light to come into this country by using the whole I'm a Mo, angle. And they're coming in unchecked, and they're, how can I say, terrorists, man, And they're being allowed to come into this place because they're going to be used to help bring in the destabilization and the order out of the chaos. They recently just found like 10 rocket propelled grenade guns over there on the border. And they're literally allowing the border patrol to be flooded. They're not getting any help. And they're just being overwhelmed, man. And look at this article, man. It says Eagle Pass, Texas completely overrun with illegals as encounters hit new records. See, and a lot of these people that are crossing the border that are Israelites, you know, the Latin speaking tribes, you know, those Haitians, those Dominicans, Puerto Ricans, Cubans, Guatemalans, you know, Belizeans, you know, people from Peru. A lot of these people that are coming from these different countries, they're either coming here to be, you know, they either coming here as part of the elect, or they're coming here to be ultimately destroyed by Yahweh Hashem Yahushai and to receive their judgment, man. Let me get this. This is Zechariah chapter 13, verse 8. And it shall come to pass that in all the land, and that land is talking about America, Babylon the Great, saith Yahweh, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the third shall be left therein. So a lot of these migrants that are from these different Spanish-speaking countries, which are of the northern tribes, which are of the 12 tribes of Israel, you know, a lot of them are coming here to be ultimately to be cut off and to die and to be judged here in Babylon the Great via this final judgment. And you have some of them that could be part of the hopeful elect that are coming here to be delivered, that's coming here to hear this truth, to hear this gospel, to be sealed and be saved. But the majority of them are coming here ultimately to be cut off and die, man. You see, it says, and I will bring the third part through the fire, which is the elect, and that fire is the nuclear destruction, the nuclear judgment that's going to turn America into that desert land, and will refine them as silver is refined, and try them as gold is tried. They shall call on my name, and I will hear them. I will say, it is my people, and they shall say, Yahweh is my power. You see? So it's either one or two things. The majority of these migrants that are of the 12 tribes, you know, the reason why they're coming here is going to be for one or the other. But I'm going to show you just how bad this shit is. And it's been happening, for the last couple of years, man. And they're not going to give you a straight number of how many people are crossing the border, but you're going to get a good hint of how many people are coming. And you have to think how many of these people are UN troops, military aids, Chinese troops, foreign nationals, man. You know, MS-13 gang members. And a lot of these guys are being able to come over here, you know, unchecked and unregulated. And I forget the name of the bill, the name of the law that the Biden administration basically put it on shelf to where now these guys are basically given the green light to come, and they'll be able to have permanent citizenship. You see, but we know ultimately what the end game is of why they're allowing the border to be overrun, man. And it's to help, to bring this mass migration, because they ultimately want to get rid of you spoiled, rotten, opinionated American citizens, and they want to replace you with these migrants who will just obey and do whatever the hell they're told. They'll vote how they're told to vote, and they'll do, and they'll take a micro C-hip, man, and bow down to the slaughter with the promise of a good life, man. And you better believe a lot of these migrants are being told, look, if you come into America, we're going to give you jobs. We're going to give you apartments, and we're going to take care of you, man. And they're coming, some of them are coming here to look for better lives, but a lot of them are just coming here to take advantage, man. And here it is, these people are coming here. They're getting thousands upon dollars, free health care, food stamps, a debit card with thousands of dollars on in a month. Excuse me. Excuse me. Meanwhile, the average American citizen is here struggling, can't pay their bills, dealing with this inflation. The cost of rent, the cost of houses is outrageous. People are struggling to put food on the table to take care of their family. But then you have the Biden administration allow these illegals to come in here and to receive thousands of dollars of aid and free health care and houses and placements while, we're over here struggling and hurt. And then on top of that, you got this the government giving billions of dollars to Ukraine and to Israel while the American citizen is over here struggling and, doing hella bad, man. So it's just causing a whole amount of division and hatred for the American citizens against the powers that be. And that's how it's going to bring in a lot of this sedition. It's going to bring in the Civil War. And a lot of these American citizens are really looking for Trump to get elected so that he can make good on all the promises that he has been promising, so that he can, somewhat bring make America great again, and get the gas prices lower, the energy to be cheaper, and to make this place be better than what the Biden administration has done into it. So when they come to the realization that they're going to cancel the elections with some bullshit, these people are going to ultimately lose it and go completely ape shit. And it's going to cause this civil war and all hell to break loose and sedition to happen in this country. It says the Biden administration's southern border crisis worsens by the day. New figures from Fox News field reporter Bill Melgwin shows U.S. Customs and Border Protection encounters on the border in the last 24 hours have smashed new records. It says, per CBB sources, there were more than 12,600 migrants encountered at the southern border in the last 24 hours, the highest single-day total ever recorded, Melgwin wrote in a post on free speech. And this is causing a lot of these American citizens to be angry, to be pissed off, because where are you going to put these people? They're going to put them in a lot of these blue cities, or they're going to put them in red cities. They're going to put them where the average American is already pissed and struggling and hurt. Now their city's going to be overrun with all these migrants just sitting around doing nothing, taking up space, getting free this and free that, while the average American citizen ain't getting a damn thing, but just deeper in debt, suffering more and more, dealing with more and more hard times. But you have the audacity to bring in what the average American people is going to look at these migrants as freeloaders, man, welfare cases. The benefits that they're getting could have been gotten to the hardworking, tax-paying American citizen. So that right there is going to cause resentment and more hatred and more division. You see, this thing is getting, set up nice through the spirit, man. It says, just then, U.S. border agents are calling this the worst. Look at this shit.
Fox News Alert, I want to give you a live look at what's happening down there in Eagle Pass, Texas, okay? Border agents there are calling this the worst they've ever seen in terms of migrants coming across.
You see, and this is just one picture. And you got to imagine how many of those people are in there are military-age men from these different countries. A lot of these Arabs coming over here that's been hating America their whole lives. A lot of them are, recruiters. A lot of them are being set up to come here and to rally up a bunch of these disgruntled Palestinians and Muslims and Arabs here in America that already have a resentment for what's happened over there with, the small hats and the Palestinians. A lot of these guys are crossing the border who are recruiters, who are, set up to help further inflame the fires of division and hatred, man.
And these images are just incredible. You'll remember the people trying to get on the train last week. The people that got on the train, that's who those people are right now that are sitting outside Eagle Pass waiting to get processed. The Border Patrol is completely overwhelmed, and they say they are 260% over capacity at this point, and that's before all of these others come through.
See, and like I said, hey, a lot of these migrants that are coming, man, that are of the 12 tribes, a lot of them are coming here to receive that, to receive their final judgment. And some of them are coming here to, to be delivered and to be sealed. Look at this. The true numbers is significantly higher because there are thousands still waiting to be processed in Eagle Pass, and they do not account in the numbers until they are put into computers. So can you imagine how many of them that they're not counting, that they're not getting, that's getting by? And this is just an Eagle Pass. It's not counting the border over there in San Diego, the one over there in Arizona. They always seem to highly talk about Texas, but there's other borders where these people are just coming in by the droves and by the floods, man. And you even got information that these, when they get to these different countries, there's maps and information given to these migrants of how to cross over the Darien Gap and how to get into this place. I saw this one podcast that one of the guys who was deep in that shit, how they was giving them flyers, showing them how to use condoms and all type of shit, man. And can you imagine the amount of women being raped and the children being killed and people that are dying trying to cross this shit each and every day? And then you got the cartel members, blackmailing and extorting these people to get over it, to get a safe pass. So it's just all type of bullshit happening. And guess what? This administration is working hand in glove with the whole process, man. See? It says the official number yesterday includes over 11,000 Border Patrol apprehensions of illegal immigrants and more than 1,600 migrants encountered at CBP ports entry. You see? Look at that, more than 12,000 in one day. But it says the number is significantly higher, so it's way higher than that. You know, this is thousands of people, man. And they can't account for all of these people, man. Oh, look at this, see? It says the Texas is completely overrun with illegal crossings, so too is the Border Patrol's Tucson, Arizona sector, which saw over 3,000 known illegal crossings yesterday. This is the scene in Lukeville, Arizona. This is where hundreds from around the globe, from around the globe. And I saw another video. I saw a short where I forgot where the guy was. Maybe he was out here on the west somewhere, California or Texas. And the dude is a black Jake. He was like, he saw these black people who look like Jakes. But he went up to him and was like, hey, what you doing here? And it was an African who couldn't speak not a word of English. He was speaking that African shit, just blah, 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 blah. And the dude was like, these ain't niggas, man. These are just Africans just sitting out there, just posted up with nothing to do. You see? And these people are all over the place, man. And eventually, wherever they're being housed, wherever they're being kept, eventually they're going to just let them go and just flood into every single city here in Babylon, man. And the homeless crisis is already crazy. It's going to get even worse. These migrants are going to be, bro, just check out how bad it is over there in London with all of those Middle Eastern refugees that are over there in France and in different parts of the UK. They're everywhere, man. All they do is get welfare. They just sit up. They be stabbing motherfuckers, you know. But one thing they all have in common is they all have that hatred for the UK, just like a lot of these migrants are going to have that hatred for America. They're going to hate you Americans for the privilege and, you know, the so-called good lives that you've been enjoying this whole time while they've been suffering and catching hell in their countries, man. And then on top of that, you know, when things really get heated, hey, it's going to be crazy as all hell out here, man. All right. And look at this one. Look at this one. Thousands, bro. And that's just in one day. Imagine how many are already over here, man. How many of them are middle-aged women, military-aged men? How many of them are like Afghans, Middle Easterns that's posing as Venezuelans or Puerto Ricans or Cubans, but really they're Arabs, man, who speak fluent Spanish. So you can imagine how bad it's going to be when the shit hits the fan here in society, man. You're going to literally have that civil war. You're going to have all manner of chaos breaking out here in this society, man. It's just a matter of time. Look at this. It says Congressman Brian Reynolds said this administration is allowing the Border Patrol to be pushed to a breaking point. CBP sources on the ground says this is an unmitigated disaster. See, look at this.
Hundreds of migrants spotted near Eagle Pass, Texas, as Border Patrol struggles to process all of them.
It's different today, Steve, because this president, this DHS secretary, this vice president, this administration is allowing the Border Patrol to be pushed to a breaking point in ways it has never been before. Right now, you are looking at a record number. CBP sources on the ground.
And you see, I was reading another article like in Texas, or I forgot, maybe it's Texas, but in other states too. Now they're about to start allowing the police to start to arrest these migrants and send them back to where they came from. You see? So, hey, it's going to be crazy, man. And who knows what's going to happen, you know, when, you know, the real numbers come out of how many of these people are here. When they're, you know, when the so-called funding run out and wherever they are housing these migrants and the money that they're giving them, when it just dries up, when those debit cards don't swipe and those Obama phones they gave them stop working, and the American system, you know, just tell them, look, just figure it out for yourself, man. Hey, that's going to cause hella mad crime and violence and all these things to escalate and to shoot up. So, hey, let me read the rest of this, man. It says new shocking stats and videos of Eagle Pass being overrun came right after the CBP halted freight train activity on 2 railway bridges connecting Texas and Mexico. So they're not even allowing particular freight to even to come into this country because they're hauling it to bring in more migrants on these trains, which is going to lead to what? More famine, you know, whatever type of freight that these trains are bringing in, that shit's not coming anymore. And then I was reading another article about how a lot of the freight that's coming through shipping lanes, a lot of those are being attacked and blown up by Houthi rebels over there in the Gulf of Suez, one of those main water routes from, over there in the Middle East are being cut off because they're being attacked by different migrant groups. Houthis or whoever the hell they said. So it's just setting the stage for it to be horrible here in the near future, man. It says, if it weren't for Elon Musk's X, leftist corporate media outlets in the Biden administration would have covered up the worsening border crisis via a mass censorship program. This is why Democrats are freaking out, because they no longer have control over the news cycle narrative. All right. And this completely wild and crazy as all hell out here, man. And this is what it's going to ultimately lead to eventually. It says, 2 Ezra 15 and 14, it says, woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands. Yeah, like I said, you're going to have the civil war amongst the Egyptians versus the Egyptians, but all these millions of migrants that are here, hey, they're going to be caught up in the mix too. You're going to have people going at them, blaming them, and them also coming after American citizens and the like. You're going to have those Chinese nationals up in here, those UN troops up in here. It's just going to be complete and utter chaos and all hell breaking loose, man. It says, for there shall be sedition among men, you see, uprising against the government. Like I said, especially when they say that they're going to cancel this election and not going to let Trump rightfully win the election, which everybody knows is going to be a landslide win. Or even if they have the election, but they, somehow let Biden win it, somehow they pass laws to let these illegal immigrants have American citizenship and allow them to vote, who they're going to be told to vote for. So this is just a lot of different angles and scenarios, but we do know that this prophecy is going to come to pass. And all of these different situations are all playing a role in it happening. It says, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. And this is, part of these devils bringing in that order out of the chaos, so that they can bring in this global reset. Hey, leave the world behind, man. You see, it says, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. Right. When all hell break loose, when martial laws ensue, when this economy collapses, the dollar don't work, they bring in that cyber attack and the lights go out. Hey, it's going to be no holds barred out here. And the people can't eat, the trucks ain't running, the stores are empty, the shelves ain't got no food, and, people are in that desperation mode. It's going to be complete and utter chaos, and people are going to be afraid, and people are going to be perplexed, and it's going to be all out chaos out here. It says, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. You see? And this is all part of the agenda of these elites, to let shit get so bad and so out of control that people are going to be begging for the global reset. You're going to be begging for CBDCs. You're going to be begging for them to bring order, however they offer it unto you, man, to get control of the chaos, to bring some type of normalcy back into this planet. People are going to be begging and, crying for it. And these devils are going to have the solution, man. All right. So we can see just how bad it's going to get out here, man. And hey, in this situation right here, it ain't going to get no better. They're going to continue to let it get out of control until eventually, shit, who knows? They might just, have it to where the border might just be wide open, where there won't even be any more border patrol. They'll have it to where anybody crossing can just cross. It'll just be wide open, and this place is going to be more invaded, man. But we're going to keep our eye on this. But we do know, as far as prophecy say, hey, these things are going to get out of control. This shit's not going to get any better, man. So that's why we got to stay prayed up, man. Keep doing the will of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. Stay on the good side of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, so we can be delivered and Psalm 91 out of this situation, and ultimately taken up into the chariots and beamed up from the nuclear destruction and the fiery judgment coming upon Babylon the Great from Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. So with that, Lord willing, this was edifying. Lord willing, this was a heads up. The water, Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, putting the spirit on me to do this lesson. Lord willing, you were edified. Until the next one, shalom.